Did you know that following common car maintenance advice can actually shorten your engine's life by 50,000 miles and cost you over $3,000 in unnecessary repairs? In this video, we're exposing 13 car maintenance myths that mechanics want you to believe, and 5 that could literally destroy your engine. Stay until the end to discover the one maintenance practice that's banned in 47 countries for a deadly reason. Number 1, the 3,000-mile oil change myth. Your mechanic's favorite moneymaker might be costing you $500 a year for absolutely nothing. Here's the deal. Modern synthetic oils last 7,500 to 10,000 miles easily. That's not me guessing. That's what your car's manufacturer says in the manual. But oil change shops are still pushing this outdated advice from the 1970s because, well, it keeps you coming back. Check this out. A Toyota Camry owner following the 3,000-mile myth. They're spending $350 every year on oil changes, but following the actual manufacturer interval of 10,000 miles, that drops to just $105. That's $245 saved every single year. Over your car's lifetime, we're talking $2,000 or more just sitting in your pocket instead of theirs. So ditch the quick lube sticker and check your owner's manual instead. While we're talking about oil, here's another liquid myth that's equally expensive. At number 2, premium gas myths. Unless your car explicitly requires premium fuel, you're literally burning money with every tank. And I mean literally. Only about 16% of cars actually need premium gas. We're talking turbocharged engines or high compression performance cars. For everyone else, premium doesn't clean your engine better. It doesn't give you more power. It doesn't do anything except drain your wallet. The octane rating measures knock resistance, not quality. You're paying 50 to 80 cents more per gallon for zero benefit. A Honda Accord owner switching from premium to regular saves $520 every year with 12,000 miles of driving. And guess what? No performance difference at all. So check your fuel door or your manual. If it says regular unleaded, that's exactly what you should use. But if premium gas doesn't boost performance, what about this next popular upgrade myth? Number 3, the engine warm-up wait. Idling your car in the driveway for 10 minutes isn't protecting your engine. It's actually slowly destroying it. Modern fuel injection systems don't need warm-up time. That was a thing for carbureted engines back in the 1980s. Now, idling just causes incomplete fuel combustion, which creates carbon deposits inside your engine. Plus, your engine warms up way faster when you're actually driving it gently. Here's what it costs you. Idling for just 5 minutes every day wastes 36 gallons of gas per year. That's over $130 gone. And you're increasing engine wear because it's running rich and staying cool longer. So here's what you do instead. Start your car and just drive gently for the first few minutes. Your engine will thank you, and your wallet will too. Speaking of cold weather, here's another equally wrong winter myth. At number 4, transmission flush necessity. That $300 transmission flush your mechanic recommends? It might be the worst thing you can do to a high-mileage transmission. Here's why. When transmissions get older, a little bit of varnish builds up inside, and that varnish is actually sealing worn components and keeping everything working smoothly. A high-pressure flush strips all that away and can dislodge debris that clogs up valves. Most manufacturers don't even recommend power flushes. They say drain and fill instead. If your transmission is working fine at 100,000 miles or more, don't touch it. A Honda owner with 150,000 miles got a transmission flush, and 2 weeks later, debris went through the valve body. $3,200 in repairs. So save yourself the $300 flush fee and avoid potentially destroying your transmission. While we're debunking fluid myths, let's talk about another one that mechanics push hard. Number 5, coolant flush frequency. Flushing your coolant every 30,000 miles is complete overkill for most modern cars. You just don't need it. Modern extended life coolants last 100,000 to 150,000 miles before they need changing. That old green coolant, ethylene glycol, yeah, that stuff needed frequent changes. But the new orange and pink coolants have corrosion inhibitors that last way longer. And every unnecessary flush costs you $150 to $200. A Nissan owner followed the old 30,000-mile rule and spent $600 on coolant flushes over 120,000 miles. But their owner's manual? It said 105,000 miles. They wasted $450 doing it way too often. So check your manual for your coolant type and the actual interval. You're probably flushing 3 or 4 times more than you need to. Now that we've covered fluids, let's tackle a tire myth that affects every single driver. At number 6, rotating tires every 5,000 miles. It might seem like you're being super diligent, but you're actually wasting time and money. Most manufacturers recommend rotating every 6,000 to 8,000 miles. Doing it more often than that, you get diminishing returns on tire life. It doesn't really help. Now, all-wheel drive vehicles do need more frequent rotations than two-wheel drive, but still, not every 5,000 miles. And each rotation at a shop costs you $20 to $50. Here's the math. Following a 5,000-mile rotation schedule on a front-wheel drive, sedan costs an extra $80 to $120 over the tire's life, compared to the recommended 7,500-mile interval. And the wear results? Identical. So stick to your manual's rotation schedule. For most cars, that's every other oil change. But there's one tire maintenance practice that's actually worth doing more often than you think. Number 7, air filter frequency. Quick lube shops love showing you your dirty air filter. It's pure profit seeking. They want you to replace it every oil change, but that's way too often. Air filters typically last 15,000 to 30,000 miles depending on where you drive. And here's the thing, a slightly dirty filter doesn't hurt your performance or fuel economy that much. Visual inspection isn't always accurate either. Just because it looks dusty doesn't mean it's actually clogged. But they charge $30 to $60 every time for a premature replacement. Check this out. A driver replacing their air filter every 5,000 miles spends $180 over 30,000 miles. Following the actual 30,000-mile interval, just $30, that's $150 wasted. So check your filter every other oil change and only replace it when it's genuinely clogged or you hit the manual's interval. While we're under the hood, here's another component mechanics love to replace too early. At number 8, battery replacement timing. Replacing your battery every 3 years just to be safe is costing you over $100 for no reason. Modern batteries last 4 to 6 years in normal climates. You don't need to replace them early. And testing battery health, it's free at most auto parts stores. Takes like 5 minutes. Preventive replacement just wastes perfectly good batteries. Now, if you live in extreme climates, super hot or super cold, yeah, you might need to replace more often. But for most people, not every 3 years. A cautious driver replacing batteries every 3 years spends $600 over 12 years. But testing annually after year 3 and replacing at 5 years? That costs $300. You just saved $300. So test your battery once a year after the 3-year mark, but don't replace it until it actually shows weakness. Speaking of electrical components, this next myth about alternators will surprise you. Number 9, fuel system cleaners. Adding fuel system cleaner to every single tank isn't maintaining your engine. It's just draining your wallet for no reason. Top-tier detergent gasolines already have cleaning agents built in. Chevron, Shell, Mobil. They all add detergents to their gas. Using additives on top of that frequently, it provides zero additional benefit. You only need cleaners if you're experiencing actual symptoms, like rough idle or hesitation. But each bottle costs $8 to $15, and it adds up fast. Using fuel system cleaner every month costs you $120 a year. But using top-tier gas, that gives you the same cleaning for free. It's already in there. So skip the frequent additives and just stick with top-tier gasoline brands for the built-in cleaning. But if you do need an additive, there's one situation where it actually makes sense. We'll get to that soon. At number 10, spark plug intervals. Replacing spark plugs every 30,000 miles made sense in 1985. Today, it's just expensive nostalgia. Copper plugs last 30,000 miles, but those are rare in modern cars. Platinum plugs go 60,000 miles. And iridium plugs, the most common ones today, they last 100,000 to 120,000 miles easily. But premature replacement costs $150 to $300, depending on your engine. Here's what that looks like. A V6 owner replacing iridium plugs at 30,000 mile intervals spends $900 over 120,000 miles. Following the actual 100,000 mile interval, just $300. That's $600 thrown away for nothing. So check what type of plugs your car uses and follow the extended intervals that modern materials allow. Don't fall for outdated advice. While we're talking about ignition components, here's another myth about engine performance. Number 11. Manual transmission break-in. Babying your manual transmission for the first 1,000 miles might actually prevent proper break-in. Sounds weird, right? But here's what happens. Synchronizers need some friction to seat properly. If you're too gentle with your shifting, you're delaying that break-in process. Normal driving is what you want. Not aggressive, but not overly cautious either. The manufacturer's break-in procedures are already conservative. They've got it covered. A Mazda Miata owner who drove normally, varied RPMs, normal shifts, had way smoother shifts at 10,000 miles than someone who babied theirs obsessively for 5,000 miles. So follow your manual's break-in procedure and just drive normally. You don't need extreme caution. If you're thinking break-in myths only apply to manuals, wait until you hear about this automatic transmission myth. At number 12, nitrogen tire inflation. Paying $5 to $10 per tire for nitrogen instead of free air is one of the automotive industry's best scams. And they got people buying it. Here's the truth. Air is already 78% nitrogen. You're paying for something that's mostly already there. Nitrogen reduces pressure loss by only 1 to 2 psi over 6 months. That's it. And regular air checking, which is free, completely negates any nitrogen benefit. NASCAR uses nitrogen for precise pressure control during races, not for longevity. A driver spending $30 a year on nitrogen refills over 5 years wastes $150 compared to just checking free air monthly. Zero measurable benefit. So save your money and check your tire pressure monthly with regular air. It's equally effective. Before we get to the dangerous myths, here's one last money saver about cabin air filters. Number 13, the cabin air filter scam. Dealers charging $50 to $80 to replace your cabin air filter are counting on you not knowing it's a 30-second DIY job. I'm not exaggerating. 30 seconds. Cabin air filters cost $8 to $15 online. Most of them are behind the glove box with no tools required. You literally pop out the glove box, slide out the old filter, and slide in the new one. Done. YouTube it if you don't believe me. Dealers mark this up 400 to 500%. A Toyota owner paid the dealer $75 for cabin filter replacement. They bought the same filter online for $12 and installed it in their driveway in under a minute. This is the easiest maintenance task you can do yourself. Don't pay someone else $60 to pop out your glove box. Now that we've covered myths that waste your money, let's talk about 5 maintenance myths that can actually destroy your engine. Number 14, mixing oil weights. Just top it off with whatever oil you have might be the fastest way to wreck your engine. Different viscosities don't mix uniformly, and they compromise protection. Your engine needs consistent oil thickness to work right. Turbocharged engines are especially sensitive to the wrong oil weight. Oil pressure can fluctuate dangerously when you mix weights. And variable valve timing systems? They malfunction with incorrect viscosity. A Ford EcoBoost owner topped off their 5W20 with 10WF40. The turbo started oil starvation at 3,200 RPM. The repair bill? $4,500 for a new turbocharger. Always use the exact oil weight specified in your manual. It's not a suggestion, it's a requirement. Your engine was designed around that specific oil. But mixing oils isn't the only lubrication mistake that causes catastrophic damage. At number 15, ignoring the check engine light. The car runs fine, so I'll ignore the check engine light is how a $200 problem becomes a $3,000 disaster. Minor issues cascade into major damage fast. An O2 sensor costs $150 to fix, but ignore it and you're looking at a catalytic converter replacement for $2,000. Continuing to drive can multiply your repair costs by 10 times or more. Modern sensors detect problems before you even feel them. That's the whole point. And getting codes read is free at most auto parts stores. Takes 2 minutes. An ignored POH 420 code, that's catalyst efficiency, went unfixed for 6 months and led to complete catalyst failure. The initial O2 sensor fix would have been $180. The resulting repair? $2,400. Get the codes read immediately when that light appears. It could save you thousands. Speaking of warning lights, here's another dashboard indicator people dangerously ignore. Number 16, the universal coolant myth. Dumping any green liquid labeled coolant into your radiator can cost you a $4,000 engine. Not all coolants are the same. Different coolant types, OAT, IAT, HOT, they're chemically incompatible with each other. Mixing coolants creates a gel that blocks passages and causes overheating. Each manufacturer specifies a coolant type for their specific metals and gaskets, and those universal coolants, they're not truly universal despite what the bottle claims. A BMW owner mixed green coolant with their orange OAT coolant. The resulting gel blocked the heater core and caused head gasket failure. $3,800 in repairs. Only use the exact coolant type specified in your manual and never mix different colors. Even if you're just topping off, use the right type. While we're discussing fluids, this next myth about transmission fluid is equally destructive. At number 17, lifetime transmission fluid. Believing lifetime transmission fluid actually lasts the car's lifetime is the #1 cause of transmission failure. Here's what they're not telling you. Lifetime means the warranty period, 60,000 to 100,000 miles, not the vehicle's life. Transmission fluid degrades from heat and friction over time. That's just physics. Most manufacturers quietly recommend fluid changes in their severe service schedule, but people don't read that part. Neglecting fluid changes destroys transmissions that cost $4,000 to $6,000 to replace. A Nissan CVT owner believed the lifetime fluid claim and never serviced it. At 130,000 miles, the CVT failed. $200 for a replacement transmission. Change your transmission fluid every 60,000 to 100,000 miles, regardless of lifetime claims. It's cheap insurance. But the most dangerous myth of all involves a product that was actually banned for killing people. Number 18. And remember I told you about the one maintenance practice banned in 47 countries for a deadly reason? This is it. We're talking about cheap brake fluid with incorrect DOT ratings. DOT ratings, DOT 3, DOT 4, DOT 5.1 indicate boiling points and chemical composition. Cheap fluid absorbs water way faster, which reduces the boiling point. Low-quality fluid causes brake fade on long descents or repeated hard stops. And brake failure from boiling fluid has caused fatal accidents. That's why 47 countries have banned the sale of substandard brake fluid that doesn't meet strict safety standards. A mountain driver used cheap DOT 3 fluid. During a long descent, the fluid boiled at 280 degrees Fahrenheit. It should boil at 401 degrees. Complete brake failure, crash. Always use the exact DOT rated brake fluid your car requires. This is not the place to save $5. Your brakes are literally what keep you alive. Those are the 5 dangerous myths that can destroy your engine or worse. There you have it. 13 expensive maintenance myths you can safely ignore, and 5 deadly ones you must avoid at all costs. Following this advice can save you thousands of dollars over your car's lifetime while actually improving reliability. Want to take it further? Check out our video on 12 habits to make your car last over 500k miles without repairs, where we reveal the simple routine that keeps engines running forever.